another edition, another installment, Win with Glenn, where we've been talking about best practices, rock solid principles. And for this one, since I've been talking about what not to do in this installment, we're going to be talking about for the next two winning principles, what you need to do to win in business. Win with Glenn.
Welcome to the Win with Glenn video podcast, where Glenn Henderson and special guest will give you the tips, insight, and tools you need to grow, develop your business and career. Go with us as we dive into the best practices and rock-solid principles that will elevate you and bring proven success. Now, here's Glenn Henderson.
Welcome to Win with Glenn. In this installment, we're going to be talking about winning, what you need to do, principles, the top 10 things that we've seen, or I've seen in businesses that people do to win.
Right.
And let me just talk about winning, and thank you, Jim, again for joining us.
My privilege.
The winning, I just want to set up when they win, you win. And so that's going to be principle.
If you don't know that, you're not going to be in business very long.
So if we might be able to just wrap everything up just with that. But so it's to tell you that when they win, whoever they are, when it's your staff,
clients,
I'm going to give
staff,
order. So I'm going to give order. So it's your staff first, because you can't. There's no customers if you don't have staff.
That's true.
Then you have people around. People don't understand this because there's so much customer focus that they forget the staff.
Right.
And the staff is going to be there to serve the customer. You say, well, I don't need the staff. It's just me and the computer. Right. So, but you do have you are not alone.
No.
And so then you have vendors and suppliers. They have to win.
Yes.
You can't just be you.
Otherwise,
And then when all of that is in harmony, then your customers win. So one of the first things, Jim, that I found that people, and you helped me think through this before, because it probably pertains to me.
If I help you, you're in trouble.
It was when you're not focused on what it is that you do. I'm going to call it core competency.
Right.
What is it you do, who you are, what they want. So it's all combined in one bowl, as it were.
Yeah.
They all have to be the same thing. But I can't tell you how many people in entrepreneurship, well, we're doing this, but we want to do this. The next thing that has nothing to do with. Well, I got a logistics company. I want to go off and do some cars.
Right.
Or I want to do this. And I found Procter and Gamble taught me this. Procter and Gamble said, if we're not the number one or number two, we're not going to do it.
Right.
And so
that is so critical. Let me say this. You need to know what you're good at and be excellent at it, and know what you're not good at,
right,
and stay away from it.
Right.
You're not good at that. You know that commercial, the guy wants to do his own heart. You know, he's going to operate on his heart.
That was the
Holiday Inn Express or something. If you're not good at something, and this is what P&G has really taught us all, is if you're not good at something, if you can't be one or two, you probably should just let someone else do that and focus on your core competencies.
Right. And it certainly worked well for
really
them.
Good at? Oh yeah,
I'm saying in the context, because you said something that just stimulated a thought. So for them, they're saying, listen, we're big, we're this global entity, and so because of cost and all these other things, if we can't be number one or number two in that particular market or whatever that is, then because of all our systems and things. But you reminded it, and it says something to me. And that tells me in my core competency, whoever I am, whatever it is I'm doing, what are the things that I do well, right? So, and we use this when we talk about the failure. So let's just say you're baking a cake, I'm trying to take small, the so-called insignificant business or the smaller. I do lawns, Well, so if that's what you do. I cut lawns. I like cutting lawns, okay? What I don't like doing, and what I don't do well, is the accounting, the legal work, or the back office stuff.
Right.
And so in that case, what I need to do is find people
somebody
to do that and focus. So it's two plays here. Is you focus on your core competency and then surround people, and then as a business, making sure that your business isn't out there trying to do. I've spoken to people.
Much.
We're in logistics. The guy, he has a retail operation, and then what he I guess he stumbled upon it. He said, well, now I want to go into the logistics business so that we can do our own fulfillment. Now, on paper, that might sound good. It might sound logical, but now you have to be an expert in
both
fulfillment.
Right.
And then you have to also be an expert in
Yeah.
retail. And guess what? As I talked to him today, he's upside down. He barely returns phone calls. He has no idea what he's doing. He's trying to figure out a TMS systems, transportation management systems,
right.
and WMS warehouse, all this stuff that is completely and totally foreign to him. It's costing him more money to try and get into that market. And so that's one thing that
let me give you an
we know
example.
people do to
Let me
win.
give you a small company. If we have someone watching as a small company, so my son, when he's in college, he wanted to have a business. So he started a lawn business, the $25 lawn business. So for $25, he'll cut your lawn, blow off everything, make sure everything's cleaned up, and go. $25. What he was not good at was bushes. And living where we did, there's a lot of landscaping and all that. He did not want to get into the landscaping business. That's a whole nother thing. He just wanted to mow the lawn and leave, right? So he came to me after a few months. He's making serious money because he's got 100+ clients. So think about it, $25. This is a college kid, freshman, $100. At $25, 100 clients. He's making money. Well, then he goes, well, I could start doing the landscaping. Well, that requires a whole nother capital investment. You got to buy a bigger trailer, more equipment, and then now you can't service 100 people every month because you're doing landscaping.
Right.
So he got himself into trouble, and he had this profitable business, and then he expanded into things that he knows nothing about. Cut the wrong bush down, pull it out, and so this is a little example of how one guy is making money. He's actually employing 2 or 3 people. He's doing great. And then he starts getting involved in things that are none of his business, right? Now, later he learned that and did have a successful business, but it was a hard road.
Yeah, there's certain things that there are connections, there's connectivity, and you just have to be focused on first what
It might seem natural to go into that.
That's right.
But if someone else is better at it than you, and it's going to interrupt your core business,
Right.
which in his case was $25, mow the grass, blow off the leaves, and I'm out of here.
Well, we're going to study that in greater detail on how to do that, how to manage, how to grow when your core and stay still faithful to your core competency. But the other thing that I've noticed that people do that win, and it was the reverse of what we said before, and that is a statement that I always make, and I think you've made it as well, and that is, if you take care of your people, they will take care of you.
You have
people,
to.
I've seen so many times, and when I say your people, so first of all, it starts with if you have a staff, it's your staff. Right. And if it's just you and your wife, it's your wife or your husband. Right. And first you got to take care of them. Then you have to take care of your vendor. There's always vendors. There's not a
somebody
single
supplying you with something.
Right. And you have to.
You need those people.
Well, people don't understand. It's just simple concepts, and it goes back to that: do to others what you would have them do to you. So I'll ask you a series of questions. You don't need to answer them, but it's what everybody should be asking. Jim, would you like to get paid on time?
Yeah.
Jim, would you like to? So if that be the case, and I have a vendor, pay your vendors on. People don't think about that. They're trying to figure out how to stretch them. No, you need to take care of your vendors, take care of your suppliers, and even if it means for the moment cutting into your profits, because if you take care of your people, if you take care of the people around you, including then your customers or your people, if you take care of your people, then the profits will follow.
Yes.
And a lot of people are so busy trying to figure out how to cut this out, how to cut that out, that it ends up being counterproductive. So
I'm glad you brought up the vendor issue, because here's the thing. If vendors, the people who supply you, it doesn't matter what they're supplying you with. If they don't want to do business with you, the word on the street will be, don't do business with them. And so I know in our work, and my wife, she ran the company. She took care of everybody early. We wouldn't get paid early on. We did not get paid, she and I, until they were taken care of. Because the worst thing in our and we both worked another job then. We worked for another organization when we started. Because the word on the street will be, don't do business with those people.
Right.
And if you think there's unlimited suppliers in your industry out there, you can be wrong. You
Yeah.
can get caught wrong.
Well, that's why a lot of people, when I spoke about forecasting and modeling, and it's important what people do to win. If you put this in your modeling that you're going to be paid slow, and then I'm going to have to pay fast.
Right.
I got to figure this out, and I don't. And then you add the other element,
Just
and I'm helping
stress.
people. I'm going to add. I'm going to help you. So you're going to be paid slow. You have to be paid fast, and I'm not going to take a loan. So now the question is, how in the heck am I going to make this happen?
Right.
So now I got to go get a war chest up because I know if I borrow, then that's going to be a distraction. And now if you expect to be paid slower, then you won't be caught into that trap.
That's right.
And then you will be able to grow. See,
Yeah.
people don't understand this. They're levers. You pull one lever, the other one.
Right.
So if you pull that lever that says, I'm going to pay fast, that vendor, we use that concept that you just shared with me as a competitive advantage. Here's how that works, and we're going to close this segment out and continue this on the second segment. We will pay our vendors quicker, and they became loyal to us.
Sure.
So that they would,
you needed
by example, they would be more loyal to me than they would to you, for example,
Yeah.
because I pay them quicker. And so people don't understand that you can really use that as a competitive advantage.
It is a
and they will
competitive
even
advantage.
go the extra mile
Right.
because they know that you're
Yeah.
paying them quicker. So
Yeah.
you really have to study this. So this is Glenn, we're talking about things that people do, winning things. Now we talked about what not to do. These are things that you should do, that you should put to practice. And these are rock solid principles that you put to practice. You won't have to learn lessons. Win with Glenn. We're at a list of the top 5 and more things that people do that's common throughout all businesses that people do to win. And we're going to continue this in the next installment. I'll see you then.
Thank you for joining us for the Win with Glenn video podcast. Stay connected by following and subscribing to this podcast on these platforms. Join us every week as Glenn and special guests give you the tools you need to grow and have a successful business or career.